Little Princess, I Don't Want to Go to Bed. Written by Cass Willing, read by Colin McFarlane. The sun was just beginning to set after another lovely day at the castle. It was nearly bedtime, but Little Princess was still very busy. "I'm being a bat! Flap, 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 flap!" she squawked with delight. "Time for bed, Princess," said the maid, lifting her down from the tree. "But bats don't go to bed," said Little Princess. "They fly around all night." The maid was very strict about bedtime. "But I don't want to go to bed," said Little Princess stubbornly. "I'm not tired." Maid helped Little Princess to put on her nightie, ready for bed. Then Little Princess brushed her teeth until they were sparkly and clean. "Why do I have to go to bed when I'm not even tired?" she thought to herself crossly before heading back into her bedroom. "Nighty, nighty, sleep tighty," said the Queen, as she tucked Little Princess into bed. "I can't sleep because my eyes are open," moaned Little Princess. "This will help you sleep, Poppet," said the Queen cheerfully, and switched the light off. The Queen left Little Princess's bedroom and pulled the door behind her. The King and Queen were in the hallway playing with their building blocks when suddenly Little Princess came stomping down the stairs. "I want a glass of water," she announced. The King and Queen fetched a glass of water. She made sure that she slurped every last drop. The King took the empty glass and wished her good night again. The King and Queen happily returned to their game. Suddenly, they heard Little Princess calling, "Mummy! Daddy!" She was so loud that it sent their building blocks tumbling to the floor. The King opened the door and peered in at Little Princess. "You can't possibly want another glass of water?" he asked with surprise. Little Princess shook her head. "I want the toilet," she said. "Oh, are you finished yet?" said the King impatiently. It was starting to get very late. "Almost," said Little Princess, pleased as punch that she'd found something else to do other than go to sleep. Little Princess was quickly put back to bed. Soon, she heard the rest of the household saying good night and heading to their bedrooms. Once the castle was still, all that could be heard was the sound of the owls hooting in the trees outside. As the moon rose in the sky, Little Princess's bedroom was suddenly filled with shadows of all different shapes and sizes. The shadows seemed to be alive. Little Princess shrieked for her parents as loudly as she could. "Ah!" "What is it now, Poppet?" asked the King worriedly, poking his head round the door. "There's a monster in my room," said Little Princess matter-of-factly. "No monsters in here," said the Queen. "Nothing under here," said the King. "Nothing out there," said the Queen, as she shut the curtains. "It's just the tree casting shadows." The Queen tucked little Princess back into bed and gave her a kiss goodnight. "Nighty-nighty, sleep tighty," she said, and switched the light off once again. The King and Queen were exhausted by the time they finally got to bed. But just then, the little Princess walked in, dragging Teddy Gilbert behind her. She still couldn't get to sleep. "I don't like it by myself," cried little Princess, pointing accusingly at her mummy and daddy. "How come you're big and you get to share, and I'm little and I have to sleep by myself?" "You have Gilbert and Puss," said the King. "You have Mummy," said little Princess. The King and Queen looked at each other with a sigh. Ah. The Queen went to wake the maid, while the King knocked on the General's door. "We need a little bit of help carrying a bed," said the King to the very sleepy General. Desperate for their little Princess to go to sleep, the King and Queen had asked the maid to share her room for the night. The General and the King brought the spare bed into little Princess's room. Oh, it was very heavy. Soon the maid was in the land of Nod, but still little Princess could not get to sleep. This time it was because of the dreadful racket that the maid was making. Little Princess tried shaking the maid to stop her snoring. Little Princess tried turning on the light. Little Princess tried opening the curtains, but nothing seemed to wake her up. "I wish I had my room back," thought little Princess despairingly. "And I don't ever want to play my back game again. Being awake all night is too tiring." The next morning, the maid woke up bright and early with a great big stretch. "Good morning," she said to little Princess. But there was no reply. "Princess," said the maid, and gently lifted back the covers to wake her up. "Help!" cried the maid. "Little Princess has gone!" The King and Queen came dashing into little Princess's bedroom. "Oh, the monster has taken her," said the maid shakily. "There's no such thing," the King said firmly, and together they all began to hunt for the missing little Princess. The maid looked under the bed. The King looked under the table. Never mind. The Queen looked in the bath.
Oh dear.
The General checked in the cupboards. Ooh. The chef even checked the bins. "Aha! Here she is," announced the Queen finally. Little Princess and Gilbert were in Scruff's basket, and all of them were fast asleep. "Princess," said the Queen, as the household looked down at the little sleeping beauty. Little Princess woke with a start. "Oh, why do you put me to bed when I'm not tired and wake me up when I am?" demanded little Princess sleepily. And with that, little Princess climbed the stairs to her bedroom. "I want to go to bed," she announced to the royal household. And I'm not sharing.